Welcome to Disruption Blueprint with Shannon Spotswood from RFG Advisory. In this podcast, we help advisors grow their net worth, build their businesses, and maximize their independence. We've built an award-winning platform with innovative technology, comprehensive service, and a team of individuals who are experts in their field to serve advisors. Join us for this journey where we explore everything that has to do with running an independent advisor practice as we bring together successful advisors, industry experts, and innovative minds who are on the bleeding edge to challenge the status quo, foster new ideas, and create a path for advisors to unleash their growth potential. Now, on to the show.
Welcome to a very special episode of Disruption Blueprint. And I am joined by one of my favorite people in the world, my partner, part of my starting five, Dany Martin.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. It's been fun. It's been a couple of years since we sat down and did this. We talk on the phone, so I'm excited to put it out into the world. I don't know why I'm here, or what I've got to say, or what anybody cares about what I got to say, but I'm gonna give it my best shot.
Well, first up, it is clear to me now more than ever that this is the moment, to the point you were making for 10 years, this is the moment we've been building towards, both from a client experience perspective, from a technology perspective, but the bigger picture. I mean, the next 5 years in our profession will be transformative. You have this massive generational wealth transfer that's starting to unfold. You have the changing expectations of what the client deems to be an exceptional experience. You have this opportunity to really leapfrog and demonstrate the value that advisors bring to clients, like showing up and being a stock picker, defining your values as taking care of someone's money. It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead.
Yeah.
The future belongs to the advisor who is sitting squarely at the middle of that client relationship, tax planning, estate planning, advanced financial planning. All of that's table stakes, institutional investment management, but the magic is the client experience.
I completely agree, 100%. The industry's changed. Amazon, in a way, has changed the expectations of clients. So used to, it would take 2 weeks to get an appointment, 2 weeks to have a review pulled together. Now it's a matter of minutes. And now I ask the question, even on the follow-up side, we've got tools that help us take notes or, follow up, keep tasks in order, notify our team of things is it too fast? Can I go too fast?
Right.
And I
Seems
think,
too easy.
Yeah, and the expectation of clients, maybe not now, it may weird them out a little bit to get a follow-up email 30 minutes after the meeting, with all the details. But we're positioned, at least I feel like our firm, and most people in the room, are positioned for, as the client expectations speed up, we're ready for it. So what may seem too fast now is going to be expected 2 or 3 years from now. And then the AI talk we've had, not just here, but just in the industry. And I would reiterate, I love to hear AI is not taking the place of financial advisors for all the things that you just mentioned. They can't build a relationship like an advisor can. But if you're not using the tools to better yourself or better your practice or your efficiency, you're going to get left behind. So that was a big moment that sort of ties in. You need the technology piece, the resources, but you also have to have the relationship, which, is, I think, what we're good at.
Is the superpower.
That's been our business, and now we've layered in the investment management and all the other stuff for the last 5 to 8 years, I guess, now, and that's really taken it to a different level. But our superpower is the relationship side.
So WFA, we've been on this journey building, your vision and your partner's vision with, Chase and Steve for many years now. And it's amazing to look up and recognize that you, along with your partners, will build the first organically driven billion-dollar firm at RFG. And so, when we trace back, what is the foundational, moment? What is the essential ingredient to success? It's strategic planning.
Always.
So talk about why that has always been a priority for you and your team and your partners, and how you think it has transformed you and allowed you to reach these incredible, goals.
Yes, so that, I mean, it's a loaded question. So we have to go back to Tommy. So
Yeah.
Tommy Williams, WFA Williams Financial, the founder. We've been doing strategic planning for years. You know, it was first, I guess we were doing the blueprinting process. With the first year I joined was like 2 days worth of homework. I'm like, I'm not. Why are we doing all this? What we were doing was just building a foundation of strategic planning. So when we started, it was a lot. It was heavy because we had a lot to change, right? There was a lot of things that needed to be done to like carry that legacy and carry the firm forward to whatever we thought we wanted it to be at that point. And as we've moved forward, it's really just become about, you know, getting together and putting some ideas and some visions like on paper. Not only putting them on paper, like what's the steps that we need to get to? And it's not, well, we want to put on 100 million, so we got to do, you know, 8 million a month for a year. Like it's, you know, it's how many events that we need to have, how many client touches do we need to have? Are there marketing initiatives? What's the website? Are there team members? Do we, you know, is Shannon going to come in and rearrange our whole office like the week after strategic planning because people are in the wrong spots? Like, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, we just had a 2-day meeting on the business and we're moving the admin team across the hall. But like looking back, it's one of the greatest decisions that just came out of that.
Yeah.
And so if you look back at where we've come from to where we are now, and Chase does a much better job at this. I wish I had the piece of paper every year, but he writes all that down. And literally at the beginning of every year, it's like, let's go through it. All right, did we hit that goal? Did we hit that? Did we check that?
He's
Did we
so
check
good at that.
It's like everything you write down happens. And it's not, I don't think it's happened chance. It's wild to like focus on it, laser focused every single day. And, you know, it's just, it's wild to see not how it happened. That didn't come true, the how, but it happened, you know, like we didn't get to 1 billion because we just picked up a bunch of clients. We helped an advisor retire. We helped another one retire. We added a couple of advisors. We partnered with an advisor. That wasn't on the bingo card, or we thought, you know, let's just get to 1 billion. But it was on the paper, and that planning each year with your help, with Rick's help, with the entire team's help has just slowly like gotten us there. And
It's amazing how strategic planning gives you a framework so that when you do dream big or you have a big opportunity that you've either materialized or has fallen in your lap, you know what to do with it. You're not floundering. You're like, oh, I can see, I've got a framework. I can see how this will fit in and be a piece of the puzzle that maybe I didn't even know I needed.
Yeah, when the vision's clear, the decision's easy, as Stephanie Bogan said.
Yeah.
So if you know what you're headed towards and you know the ideas that you want to accomplish when something presents itself, then you can make an educated decision.
Yeah.
Doesn't always mean it's right or wrong. It just means, hey, look, we wanted this. Let's just review, see what the outcome's, good, bad, and let's just go. Right? Let's make a decision and move forward. But if you don't do any planning, if you get stuck, and this is not just our business, this is in the gym, your family, at church, like if you just wake up and put your shoes on and say, well, you know, we're rolling today, you're probably going to do what you did yesterday. And I think strategic planning is very similar to like the marathon training. Like, I know I've got this in 4 months. What do I have to do to get there? And it's not, I've got to run 400 miles between 9 minutes. You got to wake up tomorrow and run 3 miles. And you got to run at a 9.5-minute pace. And then that's it. It takes you 30 minutes. And then you rest the next day. And then Wednesday you do 4 miles. Like, it's just a very drawn out process, but it's not this big major thing where how am I ever going to accomplish it? You put the goal, you write it down, you just follow the simple basics. It's not rocket science. Everybody's, how did you do this? How'd you do that? I'm like, I think we just like took care of our team and took care of our clients. So I can be a bunch of educated, smart decisions along the way, and the rest of it takes care of itself, the daily habits.
So yesterday we kicked off opening keynote. One of our guy, part of your starting five, Philip Dees. And I mean, he has so much wisdom. I wish I had all the quotes on my fingertips right now, but one of them that I think speaks directly to what you're talking about is you are living exactly the life that you have designed.
Yeah, so my wife has a tattoo. He did a series on legacy, and it's living the life you want to leave. I'm like, whoa, what? You know, but nobody wants to like wake up that, you know, legacy is what will people say about you like when you're no longer here. And everybody wants one, you know. Michael Jackson has a great legacy, right? You know, there's athletes that leave great legacies, politicians that leave great legacies, some of them, family members you remember, and none of those people, they had a talent, but it was the consistency of like, you know, Hulk Hogan.
Right.
You know, here we are.
Yeah.
You got signs everywhere. Like Hulk Hogan didn't just want to be a great wrestler. Like he put in work and his
Yeah.
character every single day, and his legacy was sort of written. So Philip has always been a big preacher. You know, Lindsay has a legacy tattoo, and it's really just to remind us every day, like, hey, 50 years from now, when you're no longer here, hopefully 50, like what will people say about you? And legacy is just living the life you want to leave.
To leave.
That's kind of the basis. Like that,
Yeah.
Philip, you know, somebody, and I'll get off of Philip a little bit, but I'll give him a shout out on his coaching, and like,
Yes.
you need
So if
coaching,
you need coaching,
God, you know, reach out to Philip. But you know, he always has helped us make decisions. And so somebody says, how's Philip help you with your, you know, your business? And I said, my business? We adopted 5 kids after we, you know, like listened to him, like, this is way bigger than business, man. This is life.
this
like,
life,
and
this is
so,
life design.
yeah, so he's just, you know, not just him, his message
Yeah.
and the way he presents it. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but according to the room, you know, I think it was awesome, but his message is great.
So Power 5, you know, I'm blessed to count you as part of my Power 5. I'm incredibly honored to be a part of yours. What is it?
Yeah. So over the years of working with the athletes, Castle Guard, like just the protection, we have seen not just athletes, but inheritors. So, you know, my friends, parents pass away, inherit some money, or they inherit some land and they sell it for an extremely, you know, obnoxious amount of money. And now they sort of instantly have wealth. That's kind of where it came from. And the starting 5 for me is getting other people or yourself. So if you're listening to this, think about this. Like who are the 5 people or the 6 people? It doesn't have to be 5.
Right.
We use 5 for a basketball team, right? Like who are the 5 people that you know when they call, you're going to answer, right? Like if Philip Dees or Shannon calls me, I'm going to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Because I know that you don't need anything from me that's just from me to give. Like you might need something from me, but it's not the only reason you're calling me. And so you just have to be aware of like who you surround yourself with and who the people are that you can just really rely on and trust when you need something. They don't need anything from you.
Yeah.
They're going to give you, they're not going to tell you what you want to hear all the time. They're going to give you, you know, unsolicited advice that's usually accurate. And so you just focus like on being aware of those people. And then more importantly than that, and I'll kind of a tag along is the bench, right?
Yeah.
So like you have a team on a basketball court, football field, pick your sport. There's 10 people on the team. You got the starters who are, you know, that's the ones that you want to start the game, that you're better players typically. But you also have the 5 that sit on the bench. So they're there, but it's the person that like, they call you and you kind of go, oh, I'll call him back. You know, like you just know, like every time Uncle Roy calls, sorry, Uncle Roy, I really have an Uncle Roy. This is not about you. But every time Uncle calls me, you know, he needs something. He needs some money, or he needs this, or he needs that. Doesn't mean you don't love. It could be your mom, your kids, your brother, your business partner, whatever. You just have to be aware.
It doesn't mean that they're not important in your life. It's just recognizing your starting 5 are, they've got your back. They don't need anything from you, and you're committed to leveling up.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that if they're on the bench, they can't ever be a part of the starting 5. They might be going through a season where they just need to sit. They got in foul trouble, you know, like they're there, but like they're just not acting right now. So that's just the concept of like that has been important. And we always try to say, I want to be on as many starting 5s as can. Like you can only have 5, but you can be on as many teams as you want. And the goal for us in life is to like, how many starting 5s am I on your starting 5 and yours, and like how many am I on?
Right.
Because I think at the end of life, the more starting 5s that you're on is probably the better life that like you lived and that type of thing. So just don't be on the bench. You know, just be aware when you call someone, am I on their bench or am I on their starting 5? And you'll start to, you know, one of the house habits is be honest with yourself. Like you really have to be honest with yourself of who is on that or whose team, you know, you're on. And I would just encourage everybody, try to be on as many starting 5s as you can, and just be
ruthless about your own.
About your own circle. Yeah.
You and I both all the time trading quotes, talking about it, really, you know, committed daily habit commitment to mindset.
Yep.
How important is it to recognize not only is mindset 2 words, but that it has a 24-hour expiration on it?
Yes, so I hear all the quotes, I hear your podcast, I hear Philip. I have been personally I don't know if I was raised this way or if I'm just lucky to not have like a bunch of trauma that I have to like deal with. I've always been positive in nature. Like I don't really get stressed out. I don't think too hard about things that happen to me that are bad. It's like it sort of happened and we just move past it. Like I usually see the good in things. There's the old tale of the farmer. It's like, the horse died. Was that good or bad?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know, and the next day was like, whatever, and it just keeps going, and you don't ever know the answer to the question. And so, to have your mindset, like you said, is your mind is set on something. And I just think the daily grind of just saying, okay, in this moment, in this decision for today's Monday, can't have a good
Our
year.
favorite day.
You can't have a good life without a good Monday, right? Monday leads to Tuesday, leads to Wednesday, leads to a good week, to a good month, to a good year, bunch of good years.
That's why Monday's the best day of the week.
That's why Monday's important. So crush Monday. But the mindset you have to have is every single day. Like you could have a terrible day yesterday and tomorrow doesn't have to be that. Talks about greenhouse, right? So like a lot of people sort of just grow gardens wherever based on wherever they are. Philip always talks about if you grow your garden like a greenhouse, you take care of what's in it, you put what's in it, what you need, what you like, you control the surroundings, you can then take that greenhouse and really move it anywhere in the world and still grow that stuff in there. And I think mindset really is the same thing.
I love that analogy.
Hey, keep your mindset like your own little greenhouse. Like it does matter what's on the outside, but at the end of the day, if you can control that, then outside influences should not really change the way that you perceive things. But it also works the other way. Like if you have a negative thing and everything's always wrong and it never works and it's not good enough, then you'll find yourself convinced that that's the reality. And it doesn't matter. It's not
the universe can't distinguish.
No, it doesn't matter. It's not positive or negative. It's really just how you handle it. And so it's ultra important. I don't have a secret. There's all the books. I've sort of been blessed with just like that, I don't know. Shout out to Mom.
Yeah, same. Dad, I always say, I'm like, and my brother, I even met my brother, one of the most amazing people on the planet. I'm like,
we're Instagram friends, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, good. We're just genetically hardwired for ruthless positivity. And it doesn't mean like, oh, everything is amazing at all times. But it's like, I am not going to start to allow myself to not see the abundance and gratitude of this life.
Yeah. Like there was a quote maybe or something said, we're literally living the life that we prayed for like 10 years
Yes,
ago.
I love that quote. So good.
If you were
never forget it.
Yeah, 10 years ago, we're like, imagine being here. Like you'd be like, that'd be great. But then today, like I got a blister on my toe, I'm mad. It's like, no, man, you really wanted to be here 10 years ago. We lose sight of like, the future is in the future and the past is in the past. And most of us spend 99% of our time worried about that or regretting this and forget to like
be here,
live in the moment. And I don't do it all the time, but it's the more you can do it consistently. We talk about compound interest, and when it comes to money, it's just compound decisions. Like the more you do it consistently, the bigger the returns are in the future. And so
so good. All right, well, part of let's call it your secret sauce at WFA is, and I think a big part of the attribution of success for you is absolutely crushing the basics. And foundationally, you have built the firm over, more than really 2 decades. I mean, it started with
1997.
It started with Tommy, yes, around client primacy.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring it back. It might be an unfamiliar term to a lot of people listening. So let's start. What is client primacy?
Yes. So client primacy means clients first. And that is said a lot in our industry. That's what we're told to focus on is clients first. But the reality is like, does it really happen?
Right.
And so there's a book by David Rickman, and it's Eaton Vance has some sort of tied to it, but it's called Client Primacy: Inspiring Intentional Outcomes. And the basis is, if you just treat your client as a financial advisor, like a doctor's office, right? They come in, you ask what's wrong, what hurts, you diagnose them, you give them time, you explain, here's option A, here's the risk, here's the rewards, here's option B, here's what it costs, here's the recovery time, like here's your hospital. Like if you just treat your practice like a doctor would, that's how you should do it, versus asking for referrals. Like if you went to your doctor and said, oh, I just had a heart attack, I had a great surgery, and the doctor said, do you know anybody else that's had a heart attack? Like that would just be odd.
Weird.
And so our entire industry has always been how to market to get the next person, what to say in your elevator speech, what events to have to try to get a client statement. And Tommy sort of started the business with communication, education, and service, which is client primacy.
Yeah.
And we've just sort of carried that more intentionally. And so client primacy is really every time you do something, it's the client first, client in mind, and they feel that. And so that leads to, outcomes that you would want, which is a very good referral.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you ask. It sort of leads into like referable moments. So people say, how does that lead to a referral? It's like you give the client, your client, at the end of the day, if they're sitting with their sister or brother or friend on the couch watching a game, and a commercial comes on and they say, man, the market's crazy this week. And you've done the right thing, and you're able to educate them to say, well, man, we just got to rebalance, like whatever the term is.
Yeah.
Well, rebalance, what's that? Oh, Dany, my advisor does it. Well, who's Dany? Well, but we've been working with his firm for so many years. Well, I'm gonna call my guy, or well, no, what? Like that moment is like, no, Dany, that client wants to sound smart, right?
Yeah.
They don't care. They want to be reassured that what is going on. But at the end of the day, in that moment, they've got the chance to go, I can say something that makes me look smart. My advisor has armed me with that, because it wasn't, when you sit next to your sister and she asks about a war, make sure you refer her to us. Like,
Right.
it's just the mindset around client primacy. So referable moments is like what happens when you're not in the room. And then chance encounters is sort of a piece of that. It's like, look, just be where you want to be. Like if you like baseball, go to baseball games and run into people. If you like Whole Foods, like go work at Whole Foods. Like just being where your feet are.
Yeah.
My email signature, watch the feet, not the
the
lips. That's always kind of been my thing. And so it's like client primacy is just the opposite of asking for referrals.
Right.
But there's a book, and we could put it up there. But it's Client Primacy: Inspiring Intentional Outcomes. It's one of the best reads.
I love in the title, because the book is how old?
I mean, it's probably 20 years old. Like
Right.
It's not new.
And I love that the subtitle is Inspiring
Yes.
Intentional
Yeah.
Outcomes.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
a framework to it.
Yeah.
There's a formula to it. It's designed to be
Yeah.
inspiring.
The problem with it, though, for advisors and for anybody, is it takes a long time. Like it takes years of consistently doing
Showing up.
things, like literally just the boring, mundane
Okay, talk about, I
tasks.
mean, I've always said, crush the basics. A big
Yeah.
part of what you do is birthdays.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So,
Costs basically nothing.
yeah, so
Pays huge dividends.
I wrote this little book. Maybe it'll come out one day. It's like the framework of how to do all these things we're talking about. So it's, client. So, acronym, and love affair marketing's part of it, and investment management and experience, all this kind of stuff. So a little side note there, but
We're publishing that this year.
yeah, we're gonna get that done.
Or you get that done.
So the basics is simply tier your clients. Like, who are your best clients? Not by AUM. Like, who do you want to work with? Like, who are your best people?
Who are you excited when they call?
Who's your starting five?
Yeah.
If you had a starting 5 of your clients, like who would be on that list, right? And then you just call them and say, hey, how are you? Do you need anything? Anything that I can do for you? You have any questions? We just want to thank you for your business. Great. And you just do that consistently. You do it this month. You do it in 2 weeks. You do it in 2 months. You do it when you pass their house. You see a little article with them and you cut it out, you drop it in the mail thinking about it. It's not like that they didn't see the article, it's that you took the time to like cut it out and hail it. And so like all of that stuff is what leads to, you know, the things. So like the basics for us, very simple. Sundown rule, call your clients before the sun goes down. Like just be available. And if it's not you, make sure it's the team. Make sure you have a team that understands that concept, right? And so the sundown rule, just call your clients back.
Yeah.
You know how many clients we get that they're like, I just hadn't heard from
My advisor. It's the weirdest thing.
Like, man, you got $8 million and just haven't heard from them. You know, like I don't understand. And so, and if you're a client of mine and I haven't talked to you, like, I guess that's my fault when we do, you know, like, I don't think that's the case.
Right.
So, you know, the basics are just call your clients, check in on them. And what we have found is if you do 10 phone calls and you don't need anything, when you call them on the 11th time because something needs to be done, they don't question you like, wait, why are we doing this again? Because last time you called me, we just did something else. And then the time before that, you needed some more, you needed me to do something. It's like, no, the last 10 times I've talked to you for a year and a half, you've not needed anything, but now it builds the urgency. So our clients actually are able to move faster. They're able to take our advice more. They feel more confident because they know sort of things are being handled. And when we need something, we will reach out. And it actually makes the relationship a lot easier on the back end. But you can't call them with, here's the thing. You also can't just call them 10 times and not talk about business so that you can talk to them on the 11th time about business.
Right.
Like the goal can't be, I'm going to call them 5 times and not say anything because I know I really want something. So I'm going to call them on the 6th time and I got to work. Like, no, just like call your clients when you don't need anything. Yeah. And just like you would call your
Say happy birthday.
Yeah. How are you?
Check him in. How are you? Happy anniversary.
Chris?
I'm sorry your husband passed away today.
Did you hear the voicemail from Christine's?
No.
You have to get, so one of our advisors, not, you know, anyway, Chris, we've been working together for 10 years, right? And so she has always been like the prospecting, which is great. Created stronger money, you know, Chris Waddell. And so we started helping her with birthday gifts. So we send birthday gifts, real nice stuff. I mean, it's not a cookie cake, it's whole thing. So she started that this year. And so we had the idea of like, what about our widows? We work with, you know, female. A lot of our clients are either widowed or divorced.
Yeah.
But the widows in particular, it's like, what if on the anniversary of their husband or wife's death, we just sent them a free text or maybe a card or maybe flowers? Well, Chris sent one of her widows flowers and the voicemail where I'm like, ooh. I mean, the lady's just bawling in tears and it's like, that client's never leaving.
Right.
And it took $25 and some flowers, but you still had to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have 25. My business is not as big as yours. Call them.
Right.
If
Send
your
them a
business
text.
is not as big as mine, that's what I tell them. You probably have more time than I do to actually do more of this stuff.
Right. Film a video.
Yeah.
Send it to them via email.
Yeah. Write them a song and do it at AI and let them sing a country song. Like there's so many ideas that are out there, but at the end of the day, I didn't send the flower to the widow to get her account statement.
Yeah.
I sent the flower to the widow to send the flower to the widow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so there's always in our business, and most sales business in life, there's always this like reason to do something.
Yeah.
And you just can't have that. And I don't know how to teach that. Maybe we've been blessed to just have that, or maybe we've been taught that over so many years that like
It's ingrained.
you just
habitual.
don't do something for an outcome. What did Philip say once again? It's about the output, not the outcome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's exactly what we're talking about.
That's it. So good. I'm going to track down the author of that book and see if you got my wheel spinning.
Yeah.
All right. I want to focus a little bit. You know, last time we sat down, we were at the very beginning of the journey of recognizing that you had a real passion alongside Chase, your partner, for working with athletes. And it was midstream of the NFL process of being officially recognized and identified as an NFL approved advisor, which Chase is. Huge feather.
Only one in Louisiana.
Only one in Louisiana. Huge feather in his and your firm's cap. Today, you have a full division dedicated to athletes, working with some of the top athletes, both at the professional, college, and high school level.
Now junior high.
And now junior high,
8th grade,
you're
yeah.
experts in NIL
Yep.
and navigating what is a real-time game being played.
Yeah.
It's so fun. First off, it's so fun.
It is.
But talk about, it weaves together strategic planning, client primacy, chasing down a dream,
Yeah.
and making smart moves.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's sort of a pipe dream 5 years ago where we just wanted to work with athletes. We had, and I'll give Michaela Williams plays at LSU, awesome season. They're about to be a 2 seed in the tournament. Known her family for 4 or 5 years. And so she was sort of the first, her and her family sort of opened our eyes to like, oh, wait, we can work with athletes. Like we got one, and then Chase is like, well, my neighbor's in the NFL. And then our administrative assistant, Nicole's like, well, my mom works with the mom of an NFL player. And it's like, wait, we've got a collective network that it would be fun to work with athletes. So we just like put a couple jerseys on the wall, but that podcast is really what started all that. And now looking into it, with the NIL space that's opened it up, you've got kids and kids of kids, right? So like their parents are my age or younger.
Right.
And I'm not that old, right? So you've got this dynamic where it's real money. Even if it's $50,000 for a family who's maybe never made more than 30, like
Right.
it's life-changing money. And then when you get to the $500,000, million, 3 million,
10 million.
there's some big contracts being made and that money's being put into people's hands who've never dealt with money. And so we looked at it and said, we have a successful business. We would like to do this, but we don't have to do this. Like
Right.
if we never get any athlete ever, we're going to be okay. Like that's just the nature. And so it's allowed us to be very strategic. It's allowed us to be very slow. We have a coach, Coach Simon. I'll give him a shout out.
So good.
He's the head coach of Huntington High School football,
So
our hometown in Shreveport. Played in the NFL, coached at many colleges, and his son is a running back at Texas. And he came in and he basically said, look, I want to do some consulting for the local athletes that aren't getting treated the way that we think they should be treated from the school because they just don't know. Like, yes,
Yeah.
50,000's a lot, but you're worth like 500.
Right.
And you just don't know that. So that's kind of where it all started. And what that has blossomed into is we are so protective of the athletes that we work with, and more importantly, their families, because everybody wants a piece of that money. The agent wants some, the marketing team wants some, their uncle wants some, Uncle Sam wants a lot, and they've never had any of it. And so we have found ourselves in this place of being able to relate to the parents. We have an NFL veteran on our team, fully licensed, who played 7 years in the league. Shout out Brandon Wilson.
Yeah.
We got Rashad Johnson, who filmed these athletes from
When they're
time
babies.
like he's been in the game for 15 years. So the trust factor of like those guys, along with the experience of us, with the we don't have to have like people feel that.
Yeah.
That has just led to like the most fun thing. It's like real life fantasy football.
Yeah.
Like who's your favorite team? It's like, well, I'm watching Ole Miss, LSU. I got the Chiefs.
Alabama, I got Georgia.
Yeah, I
I
don't
got
know.
the Seahawks.
I don't know who won, but I know that so-and-so had this many points
Yeah.
and didn't get injured and didn't do anything to ruin their reputation, right? So like it's been fun, but client primacy around that has been really and truly, and everybody says this, and I don't know how you would believe me over anybody, but like we don't want anything from the athletes. We really want them to get out of school. If they make it to the league, when they get out of the league, to have enough money to not have to go do something that they don't want to do. Be a high school coach. Brandon's a perfect example. Take 18 months without getting paid to get fully licensed to like start your second career. That's just, money has allowed him the option to do that. And we're just trying to figure out how to teach as many kids and families that process, but also protect them from like what they don't know.
Yeah.
And so it's just been fun. It's only getting bigger.
It's getting bigger.
We've had two calls just since we've been here. NFL players just need some help. It's off season now. People get cut, get re-signed. Seasons are wrapping up. Like, so there's some activity, but 2030, write it down. 2030 is our year.
Take it to the bank,
Take
baby.
it to the bank.
Like,
2030 is going to be like, the year it's just going to be, that's the year.
Yeah.
We can see second contracts being signed a lot. It's just, so we have a long-term focus, but 2030, started in 2022.
Right.
Like it's an
Right.
8-year process.
Right.
So for anybody like trying to get into the game, you got to start building now for
For the
the
future.
future. So strategic planning, all that kind of wraps
All
up.
it all knits together. I want to hit on two other things. The first is Unreasonable Hospitality.
Okay.
We both read that book at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I think it's
Yeah.
Will Giardia.
Yeah. 11 Madison
But
Park. That's
I
what
might
I
not have
call
that
it.
right. Exactly. 11 Madison Park guy. I mean, it just hits different.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have at RFG a Dreamweaver. I don't know if I've ever told you this. So we have a Dreamweaver ticketing system for our team. So anytime they're talking to an advisor or a member of the advisor's team and they hear something and they want to have a card sent, flowers sent, swag sent, connect this person, it's a Dreamweaver, which is a direct, take lesson from that. How do you think the intersection happens between client primacy and unreasonable hospitality?
Oh, man, that's a good one because that's like our two things. So unreasonable hospitality is not hard. It just has to be, you have to keep it in front of you. Hospitality in general, the bar, somebody said the bar is literally on the ground.
On the
Or
ground.
like the service level, right? So like just opening the door for somebody, they'll look at you like, whoa, what happened? Sorry, I just opened the door for you. I don't know what's so major about that. So unreasonable hospitality is like taking that hospitality level and doing things that aren't expensive necessarily, but like completely out there, that's just spontaneous, in the moment, spur of the moment. And I think that is a direct implication of listening, right? So if I talk to a client and they're talking to me and I'm listening to them, client primacy, right? I'm actually hearing what they're saying, and I catch something that's important to them, then I can react to it and do something that like makes them feel special.
Right.
Without client primacy, you probably never even hear what they're saying because all you're trying to do is figure out how to weave in your
pitch.
give me your statement.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think client primacy leads to just the listening that then you can convert into some type of moment. I told Christy Puckett when my dog died, Cajun, 17 years old, her daughter painted a little thing. And I'm like, I know that your daughter didn't just paint that dog for me. Like, I know you probably have sent that to multiple people. Like, that's what she does.
Yeah.
But I still remember it, like it's still hanging up a thing. Occasionally wants to see Cajun before she goes home. Like, but you could have done that to 1,000 people. And in that moment, it was like,
so special.
Yeah, that was so cool. And it wouldn't cost you, a little wooden thing and some time and an envelope, So, but you have to be focused on the person, hear what they're saying, and then react to whatever it is in that moment. You do a great job of that. Get off your donkey, it's a good moment. I saw a strong him money shirt earlier, so like, I don't know what the story is there, but you didn't just like randomly get somebody that. There's a story that you heard, good or bad.
Yeah.
I forget is it Liz? She does the gifts or something, and she calls it like the humble pie. So like when you make a mistake. So unreasonable hospitality doesn't have to just be like good. It could be when something goes wrong, beneficiary's name spelled wrong.
Right.
Send them a pie. Hey, we don't always get it right. Here's my humble pie, right?
Right.
Like in that moment, it turns this bad thing into like a rememberable or a referable moment. And so like all that is just client primacy leads to you hearing something, and then unreasonable hospitality is like the reaction.
You doing something. Yeah. It's so amazing to me. I think one of the greatest, we talk about this with our team all the time, like play to win. It's a core value. Execute relentlessly, because you can't play to win unless you execute relentlessly. And such a big part of client primacy, unreasonable hospitality to me is like hardwire yourself, adopt the posture of execution. Because then when you are in that moment, you're not just washing over you. You're like, oh, I'm gonna execute on that. I'm gonna let them know. I'm not gonna just tell them or show them how much I care.
Yeah, and you got to train your team and your people. So like if you could be the most unreasonable, hospitable person in the planet, but if your team is just only focused on paperwork, then they don't conceptually, see that value. So like if you're a leader of an office, or if you have a team, or you're a family, you have a family, like train your family to do that stuff, right? So it's not just about you. It's about like having your team like buy into the thing. And we bringing Brandon on, Cadence has like become a a term.
Yeah.
Maybe not in our office, but like we're just talking about like the cadence of surge and our
Yeah.
calendar and our meeting schedule. And this is my meeting times. And the reviews and the service level has become so good based on that cadence. And I think that's just the like, how do you win the game, right? This game doesn't really have an end. Like,
No.
there's no end to this game. So it's how do you consistently like play to get better? I think of it more like golf, right? It's like you play a hole based this way and then something changes, you go to the next one. You play that a different way, you hit it in the trees, you make a good putt. Like it's just up and down constantly, but it's every hole requires like different, strategies to get through. And in our office and with RFG and, the entire team, it's like, all right, what hole are we on right now? What season are we in?
Yeah.
What tools do we need to get to the other side? And if we make a mistake, get it back in the middle, complete the task. Don't worry about what's behind you. Like all this,
that's so good.
things, it's not rocket science. Everybody, it's so, how are y'all? This is not.
How are you going to be a billion-dollar firm?
Life is not rocket science. Do the little things really good consistently over time, and
don't forget the basics.
And if you do the little things bad, if you do the little bad things over time, guess where you end up? So it works both ways. You just got to be focused on like, what are you doing daily?
Yeah, how you do anything is how you do everything. All right, let's wrap up with what makes you excited about the future.
I'm not excited. Just can you tell? Man, I'm excited just about the team that we have personally. So like, they're great. Like our team
is so good.
From the admin team to the RFG team to our local to the advisor team to the partner team, like everybody in our group is just, we've always had a good office and a good business, but it's almost like for the first time, everybody's just like in the same little realm, like headed in the same direction at a very fast speed. Which is awesome because, our clients see that. I asked one the other day, like, how do you feel? And he's like, I've been a client 25 years. And I told you this earlier.
Yes, so good.
I've never had more confidence than I do now. I'm like, over, like, that's what we want. That's what we're here for. And so the excitement of like building a business for 20 years and still feeling like we're at the beginning.
Right.
Like, I just know what I'm doing now, but the future is like, what is the next 5 or 10? And it's not monetary. It's not how much money are we going to make. It's like, how do I get more of those comments? We always say, how do you measure success? Like, how many thank you cards do I have on Monday when I get to the office? Right. It's like, so I'm just excited about the team that we've like put together, the excitement of all of them, the industry. Personally, I'm 41 years old, 20 years in the business, successful business in what I would consider as a financial planner. But I'm in the right place at the right time. Unfortunately, our parents passing away. So I have peers now who either have their own money or are going to inherit their own money. We have the ability and the opportunity to help so many people now at our office. And it's not a ploy for our office, because you can't be 65 and retire and say this. I'm excited to have the experience and the age and the runway to like help more people, because there's a lot more people that like will need it.
Yeah. And
we're positioned to do that in a way that is focused on them and not just, if we don't get them, our business fails.
Right.
It's just a fun place to be.
So good. I appreciate you so much. This was amazing.
I appreciate it. We'll have to do it again.
We'll do it again next year. Same, different place, same time.
I studied so hard for all these topics. I'm glad you gave me all that prep time to get
all 2 minutes of it.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. But hopefully I did good.
It was awesome.
Back, so.
It was awesome.
Yep.
Love you.
You're the best.
Thank you for listening to the Disruption Blueprint podcast. Visit our website at www.rfgadvisory.com or schedule a call on our advisor resources page. And don't forget to click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. Content here is for illustrative purposes and general information only. It is not legal, tax, or individualized financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific security or engage in any specific trading strategy. Information here may be provided in part by third-party sources. These sources are generally deemed to be reliable. However, neither our guest nor RFG Advisory guarantee the accuracy of third-party sources. The views expressed here are those of our guest. They do not necessarily represent those of RFG Advisory, its employees, or its clients. This commentary should not be regarded as a description of advisory services provided by RFG Advisory or performance returns of any client. The views reflected in the commentary are subject to change at any time without notice. Securities offered by registered representatives of Private Client Services, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives of RFG Advisory, a registered investment advisor. Private Client Services and RFG Advisory are unaffiliated entities. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RFG Advisory and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advisory services may be rendered by RFG Advisory unless a client agreement is in place. RFG Advisory is an SEC-registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of RFG by the Commission, nor does it indicate that RFG or any associated investment advisory representative has attained a particular level of skill or ability.